Hey there. I've had a number of people ask me how can they transfer their Ancestry Tree to their RootsMagic program. So this tutorial should walk you through the steps of how to take your Ancestry Tree and import it into your family or RootsMagic program. I highly recommend you have a program like RootsMagic resident on your computer that holds your database that's not relying on being online in order to access your data the way Ancestry is and the way Family Search is. So I would highly recommend that you have a program like RootsMagic or Family Tree Maker or whatever your personal preference is in order to search your database and print reports and have your own copy of your database in case bizarre, in case anything happens online and you have no longer have access to it. So let's walk through the steps of how to take your Ancestry Tree and import it into your RootsMagic program. So here I am in Ancestry, and here's my tree. I love my tree. I use it for researching here. I know that everything on this tree is sourced, documented, and so I'm ready to take this sort of true copy of my database and import it into RootsMagic. So I'm here in Ancestry. I go over here to Tree Pages, down to Tree Settings. Over here there's a green button that says Export Tree. So I'm going to click this button. It's going to generate a GEDCOM file. GEDCOM is sort of the universally accepted file format for all the family search or family history programs. Family Tree Maker, Path would use it, RootsMagic uses it. It's a handy format for sharing your database no matter what program you use for your family history work. So I'm going to download that GEDCOM file. At this point, that GEDCOM file can be used. I can share that file. I can email it to a family member and share my tree with them. They can import it both into Ancestry or into their own programs. So it's a nice file format. So here it is. I'm going to show what it looks like in the folder here. It's called jcameron1 GED, and it's here in my downloads folder. So I know where that is. I'm going to hop over here to RootsMagic. So here I have RootsMagic. It's a completely blank slate ready for a new database. Now you might be tempted to go here and create a new database, which you could do, but then you still have to take the next step, which is to import the GEDCOM file. We can actually jump right to that point and let it create the database and import at the same time. So I went to File, Import, and here I am. Here's the different files that it can import and create a RootsMagic database from. Family Origins, Family Tree Maker, Legacy, an old path file, TMG. Any of these can be, you can just open your database file straight away and RootsMagic will convert it without sort of that extra step of creating a GEDCOM file. We have a GEDCOM file from Ancestry, so that's what I'm going to click, a GEDCOM file. Say I know where it is because it's in my downloads. Here it is. So I'm going to open that. Here's the point where it's going to ask me to name my new database, and for our purposes I'm going to call it tutorial so it doesn't get mixed up with my other databases. And it's going to ask me to make a few decisions. Here's the date format. There's lots of possibilities. Whichever format you choose, as you type dates in here on out, you will automatically format them all the same, no matter how you type them in. So that's a handy thing. It's going to ask me if I want to display a number after the name. I like to have a record number after each name. It's asking you if you want to display surnames in the uppercase. That's a personal choice. I definitely want the LDS support, which will allow me to have the screen where the LDS ordinances are shown, and the Family Search Tree support, which is the interface that allows RootsMagic and Family Search to talk back and forth to each other and share information, which I like. This is a new thing with RootsMagic 7, which enables web hints. Web hints is their new tool that goes out into the web and looks for research helps for you. For now, it seems that they mostly look at MyHeritage and the Family Search website and source those possibilities of where your names might be found. So for now, I'm okay. I'm going to toggle that off. At any point later on, I can toggle this back on if I'd like to utilize the web hints. So I'm going to say OK. And at this point, it's going to ask me if I would like to generate a new source saying where this GEDCOM file came from. For now, I'm going to say no, but you have the possibility of adding a source to each person in your database or each event, saying that it came from a GEDCOM file, which file, or both, obviously. So I'm going to say no, but if I was to say yes, it asks me the name of the person who received this GEDCOM, or where I received it. So in our circumstances, I would probably put Jennifer Bay Ancestry Tree. If this GEDCOM file came from Aunt Joan, who is sharing her database with you, and you're importing that GEDCOM file, you might want to add that as a source and say that this came from Aunt Joan's database, and here's how to contact her in case in the future any of those people have issues and questions you'd like to find out from Aunt Joan. So at this point, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to create an additional source, but you have that as an option. Say okay, let it do its thing. Poof. So here we are, and here is my tree from Ancestry. I just want to show you a couple of things. You might be curious what all comes with. You know, in Ancestry, you have the option of adding a lot of media and, of course, attaching a lot of sources. And so I just want to show you a couple of things that I've noticed as I import this tree. This is my great-grandfather, who, on Ancestry, I have attached quite a number of media pictures. It would seem that there's a disconnect and that that media doesn't download into the GEDCOM file. So I may find I need to manually move pictures that I have from Ancestry and move them and attach them in my RootsMagic file. So there's that. But I also want to show you, for example, these residences. These are, I know they came from census records. And if you look down here at your sources, then you can see the source note that it's the 1901 Census of Canada and the place it came from, page numbers, etc. Now, different than Ancestry, obviously I can't go and look at that page like I can in Ancestry, but the source is noted. So you can rest assured that the different things that you had are listed as sources. Each source attached specifically to the event they reference. So you're not going to get a big giant list of all your sources in one place as much as you're going to have sort of a source attached to each event. So here's the marriage source, Ontario, Canada, marriages. It's also going to show me how I can go over to Ancestry and find that again if that's what if I want to go and look at the actual document. So rest assured that your sources came across, if not the media. And maybe at some point they'll progress and make a way that a GEDCOM file can recognize media files and download those as well. But for now, I have a great tree. I have all my data, I have all my sources, and I'm ready to research here in RootsMagic with these files. So happy hunting.